Imagine standing before structures so vast and so ambitious that they seem to defy the limits of human capability. Throughout history, civilizations have battled towering mountains, mighty rivers, and unforgiving landscapes. Yet some refused to accept nature's boundaries. Instead, they reshaped the land itself, carving tunnels through solid rock, redirecting powerful rivers, and constructing engineering masterpieces on a scale once thought impossible. Few nations have pursued that ambition as relentlessly as China. Across its vast landscape stand projects built from steel, concrete, and glass. But they are far more than engineering structures. They represent decades of innovation, extraordinary craftsmanship, and an unwavering determination to overcome challenges once thought impossible. But behind these 8 remarkable megaprojects lies an even greater story. What groundbreaking technologies made them possible? What engineering challenges pushed their designers to the very edge of human achievement? And how did these projects redefine what modern construction is capable of? Stay with us until the very end as we uncover the incredible stories behind China's greatest engineering marvels. And if you enjoy documentaries about history, engineering, and humanity's greatest achievements, be sure to subscribe to Atrox. Join us as we continue exploring the world's most extraordinary wonders. For centuries, the Great Wall of China has been celebrated as one of history's greatest defensive achievements, stretching more than 21.000 kilometers across mountains, deserts, and vast grasslands. It remains one of the largest construction projects ever undertaken. But its incredible durability wasn't built on stone alone. Hidden within its walls was an engineering innovation centuries ahead of its time. Ancient Chinese builders made an extraordinary discovery. By mixing slaked lime with sticky rice soup, they created an exceptionally strong mortar. The secret ingredient was amylopectin, a natural starch found in glutinous rice. Combined with lime, it produced a material that was both remarkably durable and highly resistant to water and weathering. The mortar filled even the smallest gaps between the bricks, strengthening the entire structure and helping many sections survive earthquakes, harsh climates, and more than 2,000 years of history. Construction of the earliest unified sections began during the reign of Emperor Qin Shi Huang, around 221 BC. But the wall continued to expand, evolve, and be rebuilt under numerous dynasties for nearly 2,000 years. If translated into today's construction costs, historians estimate the total investment would equal hundreds of billions, perhaps even close to $1 trillion. That would make it one of the most expensive engineering projects in human history. Yet this extraordinary achievement came at an enormous human cost. Long before cranes, trucks, or modern machinery existed, millions of workers carried massive stones, bricks, and timber across some of the world's most unforgiving terrain. They endured freezing winters, scorching summers, hunger, exhaustion, and dangerous working conditions. Countless lives were lost during its construction. The Great Wall became not only a triumph of engineering, but also a monument to human sacrifice. Today, the Great Wall stands for far more than military defense. It reminds us that history's greatest achievements are built not only with innovation and determination, but also with sacrifices that can never truly be measured. At the heart of Beijing stands the Forbidden City, one of the largest and most remarkable palace complexes ever constructed, covering more than 720.000 square meters and containing nearly 1,000 surviving buildings. It was far more than an imperial residence. For almost 5 centuries, it served as the political and ceremonial center of China, a symbol carefully designed to project the absolute authority of the emperor. Construction began in 1406 under the Yongle Emperor of the Ming Dynasty. Building a city on this extraordinary scale required an enormous mobilization of resources from across the empire. Rare non-mu timber was transported over thousands of kilometers from the forests of southern China. Meanwhile, massive blocks of marble were hauled from distant quarries using remarkable engineering techniques. Tens of thousands of skilled craftsmen worked alongside hundreds of thousands of laborers. Together, they spent 14 years bringing the emperor's vision to life. Every detail reflected imperial prestige. At the center of the complex stood the Hall of Supreme Harmony, the grand ceremonial hall where emperors presided over the empire's most important state occasions. Its famous floor bricks were fired through an exceptionally long and carefully controlled process. The result was a surface that was unusually dense, smooth, and reserved for the highest ranks of the imperial court. Even the building materials carried symbolic meaning. Every beam, every courtyard, and every golden rooftop reinforced one powerful message: the emperor ruled under the mandate of heaven. Yet behind its magnificent red walls and golden roofs lay another reality. For generations, the Forbidden City became the stage for political intrigue, succession struggles, and the rise and fall of 2 imperial dynasties. It was the ultimate symbol of imperial power, but it was also a place where countless secrets remained hidden from the outside world. Today, the Forbidden City continues to inspire admiration, not only for its breathtaking architecture, but also for the remarkable story it continues to tell. It reminds us that even the greatest empires, no matter how powerful they once appeared, cannot escape the passage of time. How do you deliver billions of cubic meters of water across one of the world's largest countries? For China, the answer wasn't simply to build another canal. It was to redesign the nation's entire water network. The South to North Water Diversion Project is one of the most ambitious hydraulic engineering programs ever attempted, stretching more than 4.300 kilometers across the country. For decades, northern China struggled with severe water shortages. Meanwhile, the Yangtze River Basin held the majority of the nation's freshwater resources. To solve that imbalance, construction officially began. In 2002, engineers set out to build a vast network of canals, reservoirs, pumping stations, aqueducts, and underground tunnels, all designed to move water from the south to the dry northern provinces. Costing more than $80 billion. The project now delivers tens of billions of cubic meters of water every single year, supplying major cities, including Beijing and Tianjin. Building this system required extraordinary engineering. Giant aqueducts carry water across rivers and highways. Powerful pumping stations lift water where gravity alone could not. Engineers even bored tunnels beneath the Yellow River without interrupting its powerful flow. When water finally reached Beijing in 2014, it marked a historic milestone in modern civil engineering. But this achievement came with significant sacrifices. More than 300,000 residents were relocated as reservoirs expanded and new waterways were created. Entire communities left behind their homes, their farmland, and generations of local history, all to make way for a project designed to secure water for millions of people. Today, the South to North Water Diversion Project stands as one of humanity's greatest attempts to reshape the natural environment. It demonstrates not only what modern engineering can accomplish, but also the difficult balance between technological progress, environmental responsibility, and the human cost that often accompanies projects on this extraordinary scale. Can a single man-made structure influence the rotation of an entire planet? According to calculations by scientists, the answer is, at least in theory, yes. The Three Gorges Dam is not only the world's largest hydroelectric power station by installed capacity, it is also one of the very few engineering projects massive enough to produce a measurable effect on Earth's rotation. The explanation lies within the enormous reservoir behind the dam. When nearly 40 billion cubic meters of water are stored at a higher elevation, Earth's mass is redistributed ever so slightly. NASA scientists have estimated that this shift could lengthen the length of a day by approximately 0.06 microseconds. Far too small for humans to notice, yet remarkable evidence of the immense scale of this engineering achievement. Turning that vision into reality required decades of planning and an investment exceeding $37 billion. More than 28 million cubic meters of concrete were poured to create the colossal structure spanning the Yangtze River. Its 32 main hydroelectric turbines generate enough electricity to power millions of homes, while reducing China's dependence on coal and helping meet the nation's growing demand for energy. Yet this engineering triumph came with an equally enormous human and environmental cost. More than 1.3 million people were relocated as the reservoir gradually filled. Entire towns, ancient archaeological sites, and centuries of local history disappeared beneath the rising water. For many families, the project represented not only technological progress, but also the permanent loss of their ancestral homes. Today, the Three Gorges Dam remains one of the most controversial engineering achievements ever completed. It showcases humanity's extraordinary ability to reshape the natural world while raising difficult questions about the balance between economic development, environmental impact, and the sacrifices required to build projects on such an unprecedented scale.